Trouble continues to mount for former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He is now in a new controversy with Cabinet Office after multiple police referrals over further potential lockdown rule breaches. Boris Johnson, however, is accusing the Cabinet Office of making bizarre and unacceptable claims about him regarding this particular case. He said that the government was entirely wrong after it was reported that two forces over events at both Chequers and Downing Street. Meanwhile, both the Metropolitan Police and the Thames Valley Police in the UK are assessing the information which comes from the official diary entries that were being reviewed ahead of the COVID public inquiry. The Times at first reported the story, which said, and I quote, Johnson's ministerial diary revealed visits by friends to Chequers, one of the UK PM's residence during the pandemic. The Boris Johnson fallout is going to pile pressure on Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who will be grilled by MPs when Johnson's past conduct is raised in the UK Parliament. Sanjay Suri, my colleague, joining us from London to get us more perspective on this. As far as the COVID controversies go, Sanjay, it cost Boris Johnson his job. And 3 years later, it looks like that controversy is refusing to die down.
Well, it's not exactly a new controversy, it's the old controversy anew. And this is the reason, as you said, because there was a procedural step where the Cabinet Office was preparing data to submit for the public inquiry that is due to begin. And data entries were found in the diaries describing parties and gatherings not referred to earlier and not complained over earlier. And as you said, these were both at 10 Downing Street and the Countryside Receipt at Chequers. And therefore, this is now going to be the subject of a fresh police inquiry, not quite an inquiry at the moment, but a determination really whether there should be an inquiry, because they are assessing the information, and this information will also be passed on. This politically is more significant perhaps to the Privileges Committee of Parliament, which is inquiring into Boris Johnson. They've already looked at data, they will look at this again, and if they find that there is significant new evidence of more breaches, they could well recommend suspension of Boris Johnson from Parliament, so that he is not just not PM, there's a chance he may not be MP anymore if they recommend suspension, and he may have to face election again if he chooses to do so. So we are really looking at Boris Johnson's career now on the precipice.
One too many ill-made decisions by Boris Johnson could cost him his political career. What happens next, we'll keep an eye out on. But for the moment, Sanjay, thank you so much for getting us the latest. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Thank you so much for tuning in.